Mic check, mic check. Check out Caster Labs. Chase, what up, Chase? How are you? Julia, hello, Julia. Widgets and alert dashboard. Excellent, sir. How about yourself? I'm doing good. Just getting set up here. Stream chat. Link copy to clipboard. Connected to YouTube chat successfully. Connected to YouTube. Okay. YouTube chat is connected. Now let's see if we have TikTok gets connected. Need some advice, bro. What's up, broski? I'm pretty good, Chase. What are you up to today, man? What time is it? Sunday at 7:30. I had a GH5 Metabone Sigma 18-35 with a Ninja V. Okay. Okay. Going to surprise a party at a friend's in a bit. Nice, man. All right, so YouTube chat is working on here. Now we just got to get TikTok on here. And I don't know how to do that. This is down here. Chat preferences, show timestamps. No. Chatbot, widgets and alert, docs, settings. It has to be in settings, right? Plugins. Appear, accounts. Here we go. TikTok, connect. All right, so we got to hook up TikTok. All right. Success. Cool. That was easy. Any thoughts on the ZVE Mark 10? Love the ZVE Mark 10 Mark II, bro. Yeah, for sure, man. Dashboard. You currently do not have an active live stream on TikTok. Go live and we'll connect. All right, so it is live on YouTube. Is the Sony A1 good for video? The Sony A1, the first one? I've never seen anybody use it for video, but probably. I would say so. Does it have all the features that you want? Talking heads, run and gun with gimbal style. I have a GH5. What would you recommend next for me for content creation? The R50V, man. The R50V, I think, is like the ultimate fucking the ultimate. Oh, now I got chat in one place. All right, cool. Connected to TikTok successfully. All right. Yo, Sebastian Yeet. What up, Yeet? Good to see you, man. Good to see you over on TikTok, on YouTube, I should say. Portfolio reviews. No portfolio. Maybe later. Maybe not. Not sure, Frank. What camera are you using? On TikTok, you guys see me on a Canon R10 with a 23mm. Brother. Hey, brother, I have a Canon EOS RP. Need a lens for streaming setup that doesn't just show my face. You need like a 16 millimeter. 16 millimeter. Chase is asking over on YouTube. I'm trying to decide between a Canon 5D4 and a Canon R8. Do you have any input? I mean, the 5D was a monster camera back in the day. If you need all of like its pro features and stuff, you know, I would probably go with that one. But the Canon R8 is super modern. Kim Erica, what up, Kim Erica? How are you? How are you? All right, so show badges. That's what I need. I need the badges to show. No, not badges. What is it? 16 millimeter. Thanks, brother. You're welcome, brother. Hello, hello. Ryan Social. Sweet spot for me, lens-wise, is 25 to 50 for content creation. Talking head, running guns. Yeah, the R50V has an 18 to 50 millimeter Sigma f2.8. That's really nice, Ryan. Yeah. I have a Canon R100. Can you recommend what lens for beginners? Kim Erica, the 18 to 50 Sigma lens. I was looking at it the other day, actually. I have one myself, but this is probably the one that I would recommend. Sigma 18 to 50. I own this lens as well. And actually, I'm recommending this lens over to somebody over on YouTube as well. It's really nice. They sell this lens for a lot of mounts. They sell it for E mount, L mount, RF mount, and Fuji, I think. Yeah, L mount, Fuji, Sony, and Canon RF. Thank you for the gifts, Ryan Social. Thank you for the gifts, buddy. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. What lens do you recommend for the ZV-E10 II? Depends on what you're doing, Jay on track. Best lens for indoor sports? 24 to 70. 70 to 200 would be really nice. 70 to 200 would be nice. Oh, they have the RF. Thank you. Yeah, Kim, if you have the Canon R100, check out the Sigma RF lenses. They are really, really, really good. I own all of them, and I'm using 3 of them right now for this live right now. They are really nice. Show the user's platform. There we go. Cool. Is this what I need? Yes. Okay, so now I can get rid of these chat windows, guys, and let me see if I can operate off of just one. So before I had 2 different chat windows and I didn't like it because I was looking at 2 different places, but now I have one. And eventually what I'm going to be doing, guys, is because TikTok is a lot more interactive than I am. TikTok is a lot more interactive than YouTube. What I'm going to do over on YouTube is I'm going to have the chat overlaid on YouTube so that people can interact with each other. But then again, TikTok won't be able to see responses. Who knows? Who knows? We'll play that by ear. I need these to be different colors. Oh, they have the RF. Is Canon R5 good and lens 70 millimeter? Which lens are you thinking that's 70 millimeters? I don't know which lens is 70 millimeter. Is Sony A6000 still good this year? Yeah, it's good. It'll get you started, Pan. What lens for photography and videography? I have an A7 III, 24 to 70. How about a Canon 90D, bro? Not too familiar with the D series. Not too familiar. These are all chats from TikTok, which is normal. What can you do? Your thoughts on the R50? Love the R50. What do you think of the? This chat's weird. The chat interface is weird. Should get under 1500 on MPB. What are you looking for, Ben Anderson? Mr. Anderson. Is Sigma better than RF lens? No, they're just cheaper and more affordable, Kim Erica. They are really good, though. They are really, really good. What are your thoughts on the R50? Love the R50. I'm using the R50 on my YouTube stream right now. Can't decide if the R7, R8, or R6 II, but if I get the R6 II, I'll have less. I would get the R6 II, Jacob, and then just go with a inexpensive lens for now, and then save up for a new one. R6 II is like, that's it, bro. You made it. What are your thoughts on the R50? Love the R50. Already answered. Are you guys spamming the chat? What are your thoughts on the 55 to 250? That lens is awful. Matthias Campos. Oh, that's good. Do you rate accounts and give feedback? Sometimes. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I do, but not. They're not free. I want the R50V. So, oh, you do? Bro, check this out, man. Actually, this angle right here is an R50V. This actual camera is an R50V. And then I have one right here. The R50V is sick, bro. This is the camera that I recommend to all normies and like new users that are just getting started. This is the camera right here. She nice, bro. She nice. You said that's a wild transition? Yeah. This right here, bro. This is the fucking camera, dude. If you need a camera, I just posted a TikTok video about my new like live streaming setup. I'm multi-streaming you guys to 2 different platforms, YouTube and TikTok. And it's a pretty cool setup, man. Pretty cool setup. Also, my most favorite lens, I'm sure that you guys know, is the Sigma 16mm f1.4. That's this lens right here, guys. This lens is great too. Can I see the R10 setup? I have it set up. I just posted a video on my channel or on my TikTok about it. What's your take on the 18 to 35 art for both video and photo? I have the Canon EOS 90D. Is the 90D a crop sensor? The 18 to 35 was nice though. Any art lens from Sigma is really nice. Hi bro, can you share how you do TikTok live on camera? Yeah, sure. So I have, guys, real quick, I'll go into a little bit. Who asked that? Harith. I have 3 cameras, 1, 2, and 3. All of them are getting fed into OBS. And then from OBS, I'm sending a signal out to YouTube. So I'm also live on YouTube at the same time. And then from OBS, I'm sending a virtual cam to TikTok Studio. And then from TikTok Studio, I'm going live, and that's what you see there. Yesterday, I just had 2 camera setups, but I didn't really like it, the quality of it, so I switched over to a 3rd angle. And then this one right here is like I can look at like gear, and I can look at just a web browser. I'm getting better, guys. I'm getting better. Hey man, do you remember the magic lantern back in the old days on Canon cameras? I don't. No. What's your take on the 18 to 35 for crops and video? The art lens, the 18 to 35 is nice. They did make a new one, the 17 to 40. Hi, which one do you think is better, A64 or R50 for photography? I can't decide on the 2. For photography alone, I think both of them are pretty comparable. If you have a small budget, Djinsky, I would stick with the Sony. Sony has a lot more lens options, making the lenses a lot cheaper. Oh, Caster Labs is sending a conversation. Look at that. Huh. Interesting. Where do I install a 50? Wait, how is the lens awful? It's just a bad lens, dude. It's a kit lens. It's just not very, very good. Best way to go from 0 to 10 stable viewers in TikTok. My channel will be about coding. Idea lock in. How often do you go live, broski? Do you go live at all? Do you go live right now? The best way that I found with lives is just to show up. Like, I showed up in the months of November and December every single day without fail. Right now, since I'm learning YouTube live streaming, and YouTube live streaming is a different animal. Maybe I shouldn't say different animal. It's like a different. It's a different hurdle. So there's some different challenges over there. So right now, because I just started YouTube, literally have like one viewer over there. But I try to talk to him, and I think he left already, actually. But regardless, I just show up every single day. And the same thing that I'm doing on TikTok about showing up every day, I'm doing over on YouTube. But that's literally it, man. And I also make a ton of content. A ton of content. I plan on going live every weekday morning. Yeah, do it every weekday morning, dude. Every single weekday morning. How do you feel about the Canon R10? Love the Canon R10. The R10 is actually what you guys are watching me on right now on TikTok. If you're curious about the what the YouTube setup looks like, guys, it's a very similar angle, except I'm horizontal. Is that a word, horizontal? Go ahead and check it out over there. I'm trying not to send people, you know, from one place to the other, and just try to meet you guys where you're at. Tristan, any lens you'd recommend for basketball photography? I shoot Canon. 70 to 200, 24 to 70, 85 prime. Yeah, a lot of lenses for basketball, man. Yeah, a lot of lenses. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the likes, y'all. Thanks for the likes. Could you give me any tips? Recently bought the Sony RX 100 and I want to vlog and do gym videos. Just use it, Art. Just use it. Julia, thank you for the likes. Thank you for the likes. Yeah, and also, who was that asking about idea lock-in? I also did a ton of different live formats. So this is like the 5th or 6th different kind of live that I've done. But I still do the other lives from time to time when I don't want to do like a whole setup, and I'm just kind of in front of the camera. So I say that idea lock-in is I say that to say what the fuck is this? How do I exit out of this? Whoops. Oh, look at that. Yo, bro, you also have no videos on your account, bro. So, yeah, you need to start, unless this is a brand new account, you need to post like 3 to 4 videos every single day, broski. Like a lot. Not sure if you're still in here. No. Yeah, I just went to your account right now and you got like no videos. It must be a brand new account. Must be. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. How do you feel about the Canon R10 with the 14 to 35 RF lens for YouTube vlogs? The 14 to 35, that's that kit lens. It's whatever, you know. It's a whatever lens. It's not my favorite. If you guys really want to do YouTube vlogs and vlogging content, the Sigma 12 millimeter and the Sigma 10 to 18 are really nice. Those are really, really great lenses. Let's see, Sigma 12 millimeter. This one's really nice, dude. This one's fantastic. The classic one is the 16 millimeter. That one is, I have 3 of these lenses. I also really like the, what's the other one? The 23 millimeter I'm using. The 23 millimeter is what you guys are watching me on right now. These are the lenses that I recommend. So these aren't like the cheapest of lenses, but they are totally worth it, man. These are fantastic. They're f1.8 or 1.4s, I'm sorry. Pebbles, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. We're just talking about lenses and camera gear and stuff. Lighting, content creation. Yes, Noob. Yeah, I would start making a bunch of videos and going live every single day, man. You need a lot more videos than one video, though. I'll tell you that. Idea Lock-in, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it, broski. Can this level of quality be achieved with the new S26? It cannot. It cannot. Good lens for nightlife for Sony. Depends on the camera body, but I would just go something that's, if you have a crop sensor, something that's really bright. Even if you have a full frame sensor, something that's really, really bright. Have you heard about the Viltrox Focus F11? Is that the Viltrox manual focus system? Like focus pulling system? I have heard of it. I definitely have heard of it. Thoughts on the Laowa 10mm? Check it out. How much is the Laowa 10mm? Those are like cheap. How do you spell that? Laowa 10mm. Those are like cheap Chinese. Oh, it's actually expensive. Wow, it's more expensive than I thought. If you need this, dude, like if you need this, I thought this was like under 500 bucks. If you need this super wide angle, I'd probably just get the 9mm Viltrox at this price point. Unless you, I don't know, unless you really need that. Viltrox 9mm. Yeah, I'd probably get something like this guy right here. This one's like 200 bucks, I think. Yeah, look. And it's a f2.8 as well. So, for one less millimeter, you get pretty decent. Is the quality the same? Probably not, but broski, can you red pill me the music for TikTok streaming? What music can I use without violation? I use Idea Lock-in. I can show you. I use Spotify. Can you guys see my my Spotify thing here? And then there are these, what is it? What is it called? Stream Beats by Sam Harris. So these right here are royalty-free music. So you can use it for, and he has a bunch of different albums. But I have a playlist that I go, and I have like multiple of his CDs. And like there's like rock lo-fi, hip-hop lo-fi, what you're listening to right now. And it's just like, you know, I like to keep it like super low though. And like I always start off with like this track right here. It's just lo-fi music, you know, nothing too crazy. Stream Beats by Sam Harris. It's the new focus system. It turns manual lenses. Yeah. Yep. I'm familiar with it. I've never used it, but the 9mm full frame. No, this is an APS-C. This is an APS-C lens. Is the Laowa 10mm full frame? That makes sense. That makes sense why it's. I mean, you can still use this on a. Yeah, it's a full. This is a full frame lens, so yeah, that would explain why it's a lot more money. Yep. I got a Canon Rebel T5. What's the best day and night sports lens? 70 to 200 f2.8. Can I see the Canon R10 setup? I'm using it right now, so no. Rock lo-fi, hip-hop lo-fi, Sam Harris stream beats are all royalty free and won't hurt your channel. Yeah. Yep, exactly. You can Google actually, let's go. Stream Beats by Sam Harris. He makes these if you guys have never heard of Sam Harris, he makes a lot of streaming content, but he has a production company. Stream Beats by Sam Harris. And Sam Harris or Harris Heller? I might have fucked that up. This guy. So like if you go to his stuff, he has a whole production company, and he just gives out his music for free so that you can use it on your streams, YouTube videos, lives, all kinds of stuff. and he has it available on like every platform. I just found him on Spotify. I've been following his content. He makes a lot of cool content on YouTube. But yeah, so this is what I use, and he has like tons and tons, bro. So if you type in Harris Heller or Stream Beats here, and again, if you, this works on Apple Music, on any, he has it all over. Yeah, Stream Beats. So you go here, and then you have all of his albums, which is like a lot of albums. Just make sure that you're using Stream Beats. I'm not a lawyer, by the way. I'm not a lawyer, so I've used them on all my lives. I don't use it on YouTube videos because I have other licensing for YouTube videos, but he says you can use them on your YouTube videos on everything. I think it's 700 because yeah, it's 100%. That's why it's more money. Got my 67 recently. Tell me why I should be happy and not upgrade to the A7C2. I don't know how to tell you why you should be happy. Not me, not really, not me really. That's awesome. Next question: how can I link to my mailing list without TikTok getting mad at me? You just have to direct people to it. You just have to direct people to it. Also, if you're just doing lives, like kind of how I am doing lives right now, I tell people to check out my link in bio all of the time, and I don't get any flags. I do get violations for other shit, but that's when I'm doing other promoted stuff. Since I've been doing this kind of live streaming where I'm not really, I just tell people check out my links in bio, check out my storefront, you know, if you need more information, check out my link in bio. And then I make a lot of content around that kind of stuff, you know. Should I buy the R10? I don't know. I don't know if you should. Oh, I got a YouTube comment. Please. What does it says? Can I see your R10 setup? I'm using it, bro. I'm using it. I don't have it in my hand. Like I can't show it to you. It's literally filming me right now. Yeah, it's literally filming me right now. FX3 or A7S3? FX3 for sure. Quado, you still haven't picked one, bro? FX3, man. FX3. Maybe the Nikon ZR. You probably like that too. I want to buy my first camera. Do you have any suggestions? 2 viewers on YouTube, everybody. Yeah, 2 viewers on YouTube. Woohoo! I want to buy my first camera. Do you have any suggestions on which camera I should buy? How much money do you have, Henshin? Okay, fair enough. Thought on the 60s. I love the 6700. The 6700, besides the FX30, is the highest end APS-C sensor camera that Sony makes. So it's like, if you're looking at crop sensors, besides the FX30, which is a different kind of camera, the 6700 is the highest end APS-C sensor camera that Sony makes. So it's the top of the top, next to the FX30, which is a different kind of camera. So you should be happy, dude. People dream of owning the 6700, broski. Hey, man, could you look at my most recent video shot on Sony 63? I cannot look at your recent videos, Abe. Just chatting right now with the chat. I'm also not going to be doing reviews for free anymore, guys. And the reviews that I'm going to be doing are probably going to be on YouTube, truthfully. I hear these are they are not similar. They only share the same sensor, but they are completely different cameras. The people that are telling you that they're similar are brokies with an A7S III. What's your YouTube channel? My YouTube channel is TMV Visual Media, and if you want a quick shortcut to it, you can find it in my link in bio, in my profile page, guys. Check it out. I'm live over there right now. Over there, I'm using a 12mm super wide angle lens, and there are currently 2 people over there. It's lonely. It's lonely over there. 5 new followers. Okay, slowly growing. Next question: how can I link my mailing list with? I think I answered that already. Maybe my money amount is around an A7 Classic. Yeah, A7. I mean, A7. It depends on what you really want to do, man. You know, you don't have to have a huge budget to have a nice camera. You just have to know how to use it. Should I buy the Canon R6 Mark III or the R5 Mark II? Adam, if you can afford the R5 Mark II, you should get the R5 Mark II, bro. The R6 Mark III, I have it right here, actually, is really, really nice. Very, very nice camera. My footage is a little grainy. I guess I need to add more light. Yeah, there we go. Add a little bit more light. And that makes it a little bit brighter. R6 Mark III, very, very nice. Thanks for the kind words on it, though. Yeah, it's a nice camera, man. It's not a schlub. What camera and lens are you using for this live? Right now, I am using a Canon R10 with a 23mm Sigma lens. I'm using this lens right here, boys. This lens right here. This lens gives me, on a crop sensor, like really, really nice compression, I think. And it fills me in on the frame. Sometimes I use a 16mm on this, and that one's also really nice. But the 23mm is very, very nice. And I'm using a Canon R10. Thanks for the kind words. You sound like the guy that crashes his car into expensive cars and has to call his insurance. I don't know what that means. That's funny, though. What camera and lens are you using for this? I got a Lumix S5 II as my first. I think I want to... Nah, dude. Adam Alexander, you did it, broski. You fucking made the commitment, man. Hey, will I be able to put a link in bio without a business account? Try it. Try it. I don't know what kind of account I have, but I'm able to. I have a link in bio. 4 viewers on YouTube. Woohoo. Hello, YouTube. How are you? You guys are always super quiet over on the YouTube world. Super quiet. The thing is, people's behaviors are different. Even though if the same person on TikTok will behave differently as they would on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. They all, even though they are the exact same person, their behaviors are all drastically different, man. Drastically different. All good, though. Looking at finally getting a 400 2.8, obviously used, but it can't wait. Nice, dude. Congratulations. EFC graphic. 400 2.8. How much is that? What mount are you getting that for? You guys got to check out this price on this camera. It's probably this lens is probably going to be crazy. I'm gonna guess 7K, maybe 10K, 12K, bro. Jesus. Yeah, man. I mean, I guess, right? 12,000. This is the newest one, so the older generation might be a little bit less money, but first time photographer, by the way. I've been wanting an XT50. What do you think? XT50 is nice. I like the XT50. Fujifilm is something special, man. Anybody that wants to buy a Fuji, I like really encourage. I'm like, fucking do it, dude. You're gonna love it, man. Yeah, these cameras are sick, dude. 40 fucking megapixels, bro. Like, come on. And look how sexy this fucking thing is, dude. Yeah. There's something special about Fujis, bro. I own one Fuji camera, and I only use it for photography. Can you react to my video? I'm not doing any reviews today. And I don't do react videos. I'm starting out shooting small birthdays. You think an 18 to 105 f4? I'm pairing it with a 64. Yeah, Jay. Use what you got, man. For anybody that's interested in getting paid with their camera, if you wait for the right gear for you to acquire the right gear, you're never gonna get you're never gonna get paid, man. You got to go out there with the gear that you have, start saving up some money, seeing what your options are. But more importantly, when you're actually out in the field creating work for money, you get to really see what kind of limitations your gear in a paid setting will have. So this person Jay will see that the 18 to 105 f4 is either enough light or not enough light, or they need to do something else. But you don't actually do that in like uncontrolled environments. Granted, Jay can go out and shoot still life with the 18 to 104 105 in perfect conditions that she's in control of everything. But when you're out in the wild and shooting content and getting paid for it, and you deliver ass photos, you're gonna know it's like, fuck, I need something better than this lens if I really want to up my earnings. You know what I mean? So you guys really got to get out there, man, and stop being a bunch of sissies too. Fucking get out there. Is the R6 Mark III better for photography than the R6 Mark II? Truthfully, I thought that the R6 Mark II for photos was great. The R6 Mark III is great for photos, though, for sure. Oh my God, so beautiful. Yeah, this camera is nice, dude. The XT50 in silver? Hell yeah. You guys want to see my Fujifilm? Check this out, boys. Here, let me clean her off a little bit. Clean her off, get the fingerprints off. Look at this. Ooh. Not as pretty as the XT50, not gonna lie, dude. But this is a nice X106. Still pretty nice. Still pretty nice, dude. Fujinon. Canon EOS RP, what do you think about it? I think it's good. It's a little bit older by now. Definitely a little older. Oh, we got some YouTube comments. Look at us go. YouTube. Let me see YouTube. Where are you at? Ask me. Oh, that's not the right one. YouTube. Does the Sony ZV-E10 II have a rolling shutter? You can get some rolling shutter on the ZV-E10 II, sure. 100%. Because it doesn't have a mechanical shutter. I need these to be different colors is what I need. I'm looking at my chat, you guys, and it's hard to differentiate. Obviously, I can see a TikTok symbol, and I can also see a the thing, but they're all like the same. That brownish accent is nice. It is. I think it looks nice. Now the price has dropped. I'll probably grab the R6 Mark II and hold my 7200, and the can hold the 400. Yeah, if you have both of them, that's a nice 1-2 punch for sure. An R6 Mark II and R6 Mark III, hell yeah, dude. Does the ZV-E10 II have a rolling shutter? It does because it doesn't have a mechanical shutter. So like for fast moving subjects and stuff. I don't know if it'll really be Quadro. You do gym content, right? The RP is insanely overpriced for what you're getting. Is it? How much is the RP? 800 bucks? Canon RP. Ooh. Brand new is ridiculous. You can find it for 600 bucks used though. And it probably is right on par. For 600 used, yes, sure. No problem. We can live with 600 used. But even that, I kind of think it's like, it's cutting it close. I would prefer this over an R100 though. You know what I mean? Brand new though? No way. Brand new for 1,000? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out. No way. No, sir. Couldn't be me. Can you help me with the XT33? What do you need help with, Camille? What are you using to combine chats? Rave Trooper. What up, Rave Trooper? I'm using this software. I'm not sure I'm in love with it just yet. It's called Caster Labs. Here's what it looks like. I need to play around with it some more. Maybe check the settings a little bit because I want the colors to be different. Maybe I'll do this. Maybe this will make it better because I'm having a tough time. App primary themes, user colors, streaming platform. Maybe we'll do this. I'm having a tough time differentiating between YouTube and TikTok. Obviously, I can see the TikTok symbol, but the YouTube symbol is also tiny and red. So I need them to be, I need TikTok to be like blue and YouTube to be red and Twitch to be a different color, you know? So this is my first time using the combined chat, you guys. This is kind of why I bring you guys behind the scenes while I'm learning all this stuff so I can like, it kind of goes to the same thing I was saying about the cameras, like getting out there and actually using this stuff, because I would never figure out these things, these bottlenecks or these complications or challenges if I don't actually use the software, because this software could be garbage or it could be really, really good. So far, I don't think it's garbage, but I'm realizing that I need the chat to be different colors from people coming in from different platforms. Because what I was doing before is I had 2 chat boxes from 2 different platforms, and that was problematic as well. If you choose between the XT5 and the A7C, which one would you pick? I'd probably go, if I'm strictly doing photos, I think I'd do the XT5. Yeah. What to do if you want to shoot a short film but requires a big budget and you don't get anything out of it? It better be a good project, is what I would say. Yeah, Rave Trooper, you can adjust the colors. All right, cool, cool. So thanks. See? Wow. I have a Canon R8 and it's great. Yeah, Canon R8 is great. I like it a lot. Hey, man, what's the best cheap prime lens? Like I can go wide and go zoom. Probably a 15 to 35. They sell a couple. What's a good APS-C camera for video, sir? The R50V. R50V. You guys, I also have all of my the stuff that I use, everything that I've owned on my storefront, and you guys can find my storefront linked in my bio right here. It's one of the first links in my link in bio, and here you'll see all of the camera, the lenses, the filters, the lights, everything that I own. I even set up a Sony ZV-E10 camera rig, so all of this stuff I own to make a ZV-E10 camera rig. All of this can be found in the link in bio, and on YouTube it's the first link in the description. You recommended Suri. I grabbed the 23 and loved it so much I had to double back for this. Nice, RL. Yo, the 23 and the 16 are my favorites, dude. Those are so nice. So nice. Add f1.2. They are really nice lenses. Add f1.2. You guys want to see them? I'll show you. Check out these Suri lenses, guys. I have them linked in my bio, but this, I bought the entire Suri kit. They're super affordable, guys. Super duper affordable. These ones right here. I actually don't know if these are the right lenses for this kit, but check this out. Oh yeah, this is the 16 right here. Look at this bad boy. Ooh. I got the all white build. What? F1.2? Stop it. Get the fuck out of here, man. Yeah, these are real. Oh, check out the 75. The lens, or the element, the lens element, the front lens element of this guy. Look at this. Ooh. Ooh. 75mm f1.2. This is probably my least used lens just because I don't have a use for 75 that often. But yeah, look at this. Look at this front element. Ooh. Ooh. The blue? What? They are cheap Chinese lenses. They are f1.2, so they're not like, you know, they're not going to like change your life or anything, but they're pretty. They are fucking pretty. I'll tell you that. They come individually, and they also come in a kit of 5. I have them linked right here. Actually, what you're looking at right here is what I have as well. And they come in 3 different colors, so you can get them in white, silver, and the black. The black is sleek. Black is probably what everybody gets, but I got them in white because I have an all-white Sony. Shit ain't working anymore. My shutter just gave up. Damn, that sucks, bro. I was shooting a Sean Paul concert in Frankfurt a few hours ago. My shutter just gave up. Shit ain't work. Damn. Frame, sorry to hear that, man. You're the only person I trust for camera. The white is fire, for sure. What color did you get, RL? I got the Sony A7 III. I tried everything, not working. It ain't even responding to my full frame. These lenses, these Sure lenses, are APS-C sensor lenses. How much would it cost to fix all that? You'd have to send that in, CA Frames. Do you use a filter lens on them? I do. I usually use a, what's it called? A black mist diffusion filter. Sometimes I use a gold mist filter, a CPL filter, you know, the basic stuff. Yeah, you might have. I don't think you cooked it, but you gotta send. You either gotta send it in, or you gotta go to a camera repair shop, or go to a camera store. Do you have access, or is there in your city a camera store, like a reliable camera store? Usually, the thing is, like, I like going to camera stores because those guys see all kinds of problems all the time, and specific ones that are like just because of sheer volume, right? Whenever my R8, I had an R8 that died on me last year, literally just died, just fucking stopped working. It wouldn't turn on anymore at all. I took it to the camera store, not where I bought it, just to see what they would say. And they said, never seen this before. Let's send it into Canon. So I paid for the shipping. It was like $12. And a week and a half later, I got a call. It said, hey, your camera's back. They fixed it. I said, oh, great. How much was it? They said it was free. I said, what? I asked them, I was like, why would they do a free repair? It was out of warranty. It was out of everything. There was no coverage on it, nothing. And they said sometimes, you know, camera stores have relationships with camera repair, like vendors and stuff, that sometimes they'll just do it. I came to learn later on that the Canon R8, a couple of them came with bad motherboards, and they just like went eventually. Oh, the black is sleek, bro. The black is definitely sleek. I bought a. Have you guys seen my white ZVE 10-2? You guys want to see my white ZVE 10-2? What's good for unboxing, filming, Insta360, Go Ultra, or Ace Pro, or DJI Osmo 6? Out of those 3, probably the Osmo Action 6. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Oh, we got a YouTube comment. Do we have a YouTube comment? There it is. I am planning to buy an FX30. Mainly my focus will be making documentaries and short movies. My budget is about $2,000 for lens and body. Well, the FX30 costs about $2,000 alone. The good thing about the FX30 though is that it's the E mount, so you can get some pretty cheap lenses and kind of build out your kit over time. But if you want to make a short movie and a documentary, you got to get a cinema camera. You could obviously make it with any kind of camera, but if you're going for an FX30, that's an excellent choice. Camper 123, yeah. I wish I got a Sony 64 so bad, but it's too late to return. What'd you get instead, bro? Yeah, what'd you get? Let me pull out my my Sony, guys. My Sony's nice. I use this camera for my other streaming setup. I have multiple streaming setups. Check it out, bro. Got the all white build. Classic. She looks nice, boys. Oh, and I'm using my favorite new focal length, the 23mm, dude. The all white build on this. She nice, dude. Yeah, she's very nice. I like it. I like it a lot. It isn't my favorite camera, but it is. I'm happy that I bought it. I'll tell you that. I'm happy that I bought it. I didn't know how bad the buffet was. The R50. Is there an affordable cinema camera you'd recommend? Cinema camera? Probably the FX30, like actual cinema camera. The R50, didn't know how bad the buffet was. I'm not sure who you're talking to. What about the Sigma 18 to 50? Love the Sigma 18 to 50. I own that lens as well. Oops, sorry guys. I got the Sony AX7V. Don't know what that is. That's so clean. Yeah, the white's clean, bro. I wish that more lenses came in white. I do wish that for sure. But the all white is like really, really nice. I call it the white samurai. Yeah, she nice, dude. She nice. And the 23, like you said, the 23 is fire, dude. Best camera setup for 700? 700's tough, bro. Just bought the Sure Sniper last night. Used 23 and woo, John, congratulations, John. What color did you get? You see that? Who is that? Was it RL that had the other? Yeah, the other Sure snipers. They were black. Nice. That's a great price, man. We were talking about the 23 being my favorite and the 16 being number 2. 33 is nice too, though. I got the R50 for sports. The buffer is really bad. Sorry, not buffet. Oh, yeah, the buffer is bad, but it's also a $600 camera, you know. Howdy from YouTube. Hello. Hello over YouTube. Yeah, we got a couple. We got 4 people in the YouTube world. Hello, YouTube. TikTok. Say hi to YouTube, everybody. Should have got the 3-pack. Yeah, I bought the whole kit, man. The whole kit's nice, dude. They don't sell them as a kit as like 5 or whatever. They sell them as 2 and then 3. Oh no, they do sell all 5, but they come separately. Yeah. They are inexpensive lenses though. Like 5 lenses for 1,000 is or 1,300 is wild. Like that might seem like a lot of money, but in the lens world, nah, dude. Hey YouTube. That's funny. That is too funny. Thoughts on the Canon T4i? 0 thoughts on the Canon T4i, Casey. I feel like I need the 75 now. The 75 is my least used one. I don't use the 75 and the 56 very often. I did make a little video, a little coffee video with these lenses when I got it. You guys want to see it? Let's see. Yeah, I made a little coffee video a while back. Let's see. Where is it? It was just, you know, whenever I get new gear, I always just make simple little videos to try to test stuff out, you know, just for shits and giggles. Where is it? Look at all the content I make, dude. I make so much fucking shit, bro. Was it over here? Where was it? I think it might be up here. Anyways, I used all of the lenses to make the video. Was it this one? Yeah, here it is right there. All right, so let's Mute this. Spotify. I might get a copyright. So I use this, the ZVE10. You can see right here the fringing. So you see all this like purple fringing and shit like that? That's where you see the cheapness of the lens. Now, will this shit matter to most people? Probably not, you know, but it might matter to some. Easy, easy to execute. You can make that video 1,000 times in different ways. What's a good lens you recommend for the R50? The Sigma lenses. The Sigma RF lenses are all really, really nice. I need to route my audio better. It's one thing I need to do. That makes me feel better. Suggest me one lens for the FX30 for both wide and portrait. One lens, 24 to 70. Oh, 18 to 50 millimeter Sigma E mount. That's helpful. What's your cheapest cam? The R100. When I graduate from this lens, what would you recommend next? It depends on what you're trying to do, man. Depends on what you're really trying to do. These lenses, you might have a fun time playing with all of these lenses, man. One lens that is pretty special, though, I'll tell you, is this guy right here, the Sigma 17 to 40 millimeter. This is an f1.8 lens. This is my everyday carry. This is a fantastic, fantastic lens, man. It's about $1,000. It is expensive. So it's crazy. One lens is about the same price as 5 lenses from another brand, which is crazy, but that's what it costs, man. Sigma 17. Oops. 17 to 40. Here it is. Yeah, this guy right here. $1,000. It's available in Fuji, Canon RF, Sony, and L mount. Totally worth it. Do you have an example of that one? I have some videos on my Instagram. You can check out my Instagram channel, and I use that lens. I use that lens a lot for a lot of different things. But also, guys, I don't publish everything that I create. You know, 95 to 90% of the stuff that I make, the world will never see. So the stuff that I put out on Instagram and TikTok is like a very, very small percentage of the stuff that I actually create. Most of the stuff that I create, the paid stuff, I don't really share on my accounts unless it's like approved to be shared. And my full-time job, definitely not, just because of privacy issues and shit, you know? Do you have oh, but I do have an example of that TikTok with that lens. I made this. It's one of my, oh no, was it on Instagram? Yeah, it was on Instagram. Let's go check it out. I did this one, this video. This was filmed with the combo that I just showed you. So this right here was underground in a subway in Philadelphia, super dark and moody. And then I added like a Joker color grade on it. I did this with a project with a makeup artist. So she's telling like a little story about her life, you know, as a undocumented worker in the United States. Did I do another one like that? I think they were down here. Yeah, these ones. So this is all with that same lens. I went a little heavy on the warp on this one. I should have done that in like 60 FPS. Yeah, just basic stuff. Super basic, guys. Super basic. Are you using TikTok Live Studio? I am. I'm having a problem with TikTok compression. What kind of problem are you having? And what camera are you using? So cool. One of my favorites so far. Yeah, I like that project. I definitely like that project. I also did a Puerto Rican Day parade coverage for a music video. That's a movie quality. RL, I appreciate the compliment, bro. I appreciate the compliment, man. Yeah, if you guys are interested in seeing some more of my stuff, man, you can check out my YouTube channel and my link in bio, my Instagram channel, and also my TikTok. Check out the stuff that I make. What I try to do, guys, and why I encourage you to check me out on all the platforms is that I create different kinds of content for all the platforms. I rarely cross post the same thing. Only because I think that people's behaviors and default and people's like appetite for content is different on different platforms. So the stuff that I create on YouTube is different than what I do on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So unless there's like a what's it called? Unless there is something that is really doing well in one, I'll cross it over to another one. Like this one did really well for me, so I decided to share this with. So I was doing some street photography.
Thank you.
And I'm going to be doing more of these actually.
Let's see. Elvis. Elvis. Let's see if we can.
And it's just a chest mounted.
Oh, I think he's busy. Let's see.
And I was just doing street photos. And I think I did share. There it is right there. So as I'm shooting, I also edited the photo real quick and then posted it in real time.
That's great. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. God bless you. I do social media, so I just post them up on social media and right.
That's it. That's it, guys. Sitting sideways. Hello, I'm buying a second camera. Hold on, I'm missing a lot of the chat. That's crazy. About the Canon R5 Mark II, like my first camera, and also the RF35. Hell yeah, dude, Zinoski. That's great, man. I'm thinking to start with a Canon R50 and a 50 millimeter. The 50 millimeter is a little tight, but it still works. It still works. Yeah, Tank 2 Exotic. When you get so everybody needs to own the 50 millimeter at some point. The 50 millimeter is a really, really great, cheap, nifty 50. Plastic fantastic, they call it. It's a good lens to own regardless of what you're doing. For car photography specifically, it might be a little too punched in. But try it. Hello, I'm buying my second camera. I'm going for the Nikon D31 to a Sony. Is this a good up? I think any upgrade to a mirrorless system is nice. So I'm using a Sony ZV-E10 standard lens, feed going in super clean, but when viewing on mobile. Are you at 1080p 30 FPS? Mirroring me. It's quite grainy and not crisp like you're live. Well, what does your so if you have like a kit lens, you're not going to be able to get this low light view like mine, because I have a really bright lens. I have a really bright lens, and also you guys don't know this, But I have tons of light in my room right now, like tons of light. I have a light here, I have a light here, I have a light there, I have a light back there, I have a light there, and I have that blue light. So there's a lot of lights in here, like a lot of lights. And when I shut off these lights, you'll see, like, I also can get, this is like super dark and moody, but then I cut off those lights over there, and then I start to get grainy as well. But to add fill, you know, and add a little bit of contrast, I just play around with my settings. What got you into photography? Money. A need for money. Septimus, is the Sony 6700 good in pictures and video? Yeah. That's a lot of more work, brother. Thank you. You got it, bro. Nice job. 3 viewers on YouTube, you guys. 3 viewers. Should I sell my A7R5 for a 2 Ti? I wouldn't. There's a lot of contrast in the background to our scene. I think we may need better lighting. Yeah, and also the lens. If you're using the kit lens, Mirror and Me, the kit lens is going to struggle in those low light conditions like a lot. We are using 4K. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, 4K, you should be in 1080-30, in my opinion. 1080-30 is plenty. We are using a 4K camera card, but just put, okay, got it, 10. Julia, boom, I'm over here now. I don't like that I can't lurk and double tap. Yeah, so people's behaviors are different, Julia, for sure. 30 FPS or something FPS. Yeah, 30 for sure. What can you recommend using to sell your cameras? I'm not sure what you're asking there. You want to sell your camera? What lens would you recommend? Mirror and Me, remind me what I need to see what your setup looks like and what you're trying to like achieve. Most people, when they're doing like talking head videos, they use a 16mm Sigma lens, like an f1.4. It's a classic lens. Should I buy an R50 as a beginner? Yes. Yes, you should. What camera are you using? Ricardo Ramos. On TikTok, I'm using a Canon R10 with a 23mm Sigma lens, f1.4. ZVE10. Yeah, check out the 16mm f1.4 from Sigma. That's this lens over here. If you guys don't have these lenses for your crop sensor camera, it's called the Sigma Trio. The Sigma Trios are really, really nice. You don't have to buy all 3 of them, of course. Verify you are human. Yes, I am human. You can buy them individually, but this is the 16, the 30, and the 56. These are really, really nice. I just gave this set away to my sister, actually. And her favorite lens, she says, is the 16mm. It's just so nice. Really, really nice. And I have one right here as well. The 16mm, I have this lens. I used to have like 4 of them, but now I just have 3. It's a really, really nice lens. 16mm f1.4. It's a classic. Classic lens. Let's see. What SD cards do you have? I use Lexar Pros V60 cards, and then I use Lexar CF Express cards. We have a product table, 2 people standing behind, QV still. Oh, cool. Oh, you should definitely get like a 12mm or a 16mm for sure. Yeah, you need like a wide angle. And you need that f1.4 to get as much light in there as possible. It's cool we can see more of your setup on YouTube. Yeah, on YouTube, guys, you guys can really see a really wide angle of my studio. In this studio that you guys are seeing me in, I have another desk setup over here that I use for TikTok Shop. I haven't used it at all this weekend because I was setting up this station. And I did make a little video about my setup here earlier on TikTok. I think the max it can hold is 8 raw pics. What? I got the SanDisk Ultra. That's not very good for sports. I've tried. It's really hard. You should get a Sony 6400. What's a good way to start getting your name out there and creating connections in the field? You need to be out in the field to get your name out in the field. And what are you talking about specifically, Fabian? Is SanDisk Extreme Pro good for the A7 IV? You need to have like at minimum V60 or V90 cards, guys. At a minimum. At a minimum, you guys. And if you're not doing that, you're doing it wrong. There's a difference. So these cards right here, the ones that I'm showing you right now, these are V90s. You see this little symbol right here? V90. It's kind of hard to V90 right here. This needs to say at a minimum V60. I use the Lexar Professionals V60s and V90s. That's this one right here. V60. You see that? If you're using, go and check your SD cards right now. If you're in 2026 and you're using cards that say V30, you done fucked up, kids. V90s, obviously V90s are more expensive than V60s. I use V60s for my use case because I don't really need enormous fast shooting speeds. But if you do sports and stuff, you got to be using V90s. And then I also use Angelbird products. These are different kinds of cards though. These are mega fast. These are 1700 megabytes per second transfer speeds. Crazy, lightning fast, super fast. Let's see. Thank you for your advice. I'm going to look for the 16 Sigma. Yeah, check it out. Check it out. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Question. I do a lot of photos and want to stay doing 4K 60s. Would the R50 and R50V be a good setup? I do a lot of photos and want to stay doing 4K 60 FPS. Neither the R50 or the R50V can shoot in 4K 60 uncropped. Both of them are cropped. Yeah, I don't use SanDisk products. I kind of want to stay in the Canon systems, but maybe. Sorry, I had to leave. Do you remember what you were? Ben Anderson, I do not remember what I was going to say to you, bro. I use CF Express Type A. Yeah, that's for Sony, for sure. Should I upgrade from Sony A7 III to the FX30? If you want to make more cinema, yeah, if you want to make more movies and do more filming, sure. So what would be a good dual setup? If you want to shoot 4K 60 and you don't have a large budget, I think the cheapest one that you can go for is the Canon R8. That's a full frame sensor. That one's really nice. You can also do the 6700, I think shoots 4K 60 uncropped. I think. And then the A7, the R7 shoots 4K 60 uncropped. Ben Anderson, I shoot concert sports with a Sony A6000. What's the best full frame under 1500? From Sony? I don't know. For 1500, it's kind of low. Kind of low. I'd probably say like the A7 III. That's about $1,500. Your sound is echoing really bad. Is my sound echoing, guys? I've been live for like several hours. Nobody said anything. Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check. Yeah, there's no echo. I think that's on you, buddy. Like I said, I've been live for several hours and nobody's mentioned anything about an echo. So your shit's fucked up, bro. Oops, lost my chat. What is that dinging? There's a dinging sound that's going on, which is new. Okay, thanks so much. Is Lumix S5 II better than the A7R5? Ooh, I don't know. College Life, what PC you? I have a custom PC, College Life. Great on YouTube. Thank you, Julia. Yeah, it's great on TikTok and it's great. I have all my audio signals right here, so I'm like literally looking at it. College Life has probably has a bad connection or something. I'm a beginner sports photographer. What camera should I get? Only know how to use Canon cameras. Get an R50. R50 or an R10. What do you think about the R100 with a 50? The R100 is awful. Do not buy the R100. Have you tried Tamron lens considering the 20-75? Do it. What lens are you using right now for your live? This for TikTok, I'm using a 23mm Sigma lens. 23mm Sigma lens. I think I have it right here somewhere. I might. Yeah, did you guys all go and check your SD cards right now? Sigma 23mm. This lens right here, boys and girls. Sigma 23mm. The camera that I'm using, I think it's a notification sound from here. Huh. I might. Oh, another comment from YouTube. Woohoo! The camera I'm using is a Canon R10. I was thinking to buy Sony 67 as my first camera for mostly shorts and some YouTube, and sometimes as a webcam. Do it. Do it. Who is that? Shakir HS. Do it, bro. That's a nice camera. Do it. So the SD affect your pictures. The SD affects your read and write speed. So for example, if you have a camera that can shoot in 20 FPS, 20 shots in 1 second, if you have a slow SD card, you're not going to be able to get all 20 shots off, and then you're going to run into a buffer. So if that's a V30, but you go to a V60, you'll be able to get, we'll say, instead of 10 out of 20, you'll get 15 or 17 out of 20. I'm making numbers up, but just as an example. But you have the V90. The V90 is the fastest SD card that's available. You'll get uncapped. It'll be like 20, like straight through. Is Elgato a good capture card for this? That's what I use. I use Elgato products. This is the Elgato capture card that I use, actually. I'll show you guys if you're interested. I was bringing it up earlier. Where is it? This guy. This is what I'm currently using in my custom PC. This is how I have three videos or 3 cameras. I have one camera for TikTok, one for YouTube, and then one for this top-down shot that I can show products and stuff. There's that sound again. What is that sound, you guys? I don't know what that is. It's not the... No, it's not my... Who knows? I'll fiddle with it another day. I don't see any warning signs or anything. Anyways, can I DM you my camera situation comments? Don't have a long enough wording. I'm probably not going to read any DMs right away. If you want to keep the conversation going, Nathan, just send it here. Thank you so much. What lens do you recommend for my use? Short for 16mm, Shakir. 16mm. One of these lenses right here. This one right here, actually. The Sigma 16. These are the best lenses right here that you can get. What SD cards do you recommend for V60s? I have an FX3. I shoot DJ sets and music videos. What's the cheapest and reliable CF Express card? Cheapest and reliable. Here's the thing, you guys. You guys all want the best shit, but have no fucking money. And you always want the highest, the highest quality thing. Like that shit doesn't exist, dude. It just doesn't. You gotta make some compromises, and realize that this shit is expensive. And if you don't have the skills to pay the bills, then you guys got to save up a little bit longer. But the CF Express cards that I use, if you're curious, is the let's see, I think I had it here somewhere. Is the Angel Bird and the Lexar Media cards. Those are what I use. It's like I want the best, but I have no money. Like, come on, guys. Come on, guys. Yeah, V90s. I use V60 cards, truthfully. V60s, because the cameras that I need faster speeds, I use CF Express cards. Like SanDisk I don't use SanDisk products. We need a tutorial and equipment detail for your setup for TikTok Studio. I've made several videos on it, College Life. It's not that complicated, man. It's not that complicated. My PC is crazy expensive, though. I do that. But I do have another setup, another live setup over there that is a lot more budget friendly. Can you show me what SD card you're talking about? Yeah. So these are V60s. So when you're looking at your card, so go grab your SD card right now. I told everybody to do this earlier, but none of you guys listened. Go and check out your SD card. You should see a little V next to it, and then the number 30, 60, or 90. I use a minimum of V60 cards. If you have the budget, get the V90. V90s are crazy expensive. Look, 300 megabytes per second. There's a lot more technical shit to this, but just to keep it simple, V90s are better than the V60s. V60s are better than the V30s. If you look right here, this is 128 gigs, 128 gigs. 250 megabytes, 300 megabytes. Look at the price difference. $69.99 versus $140. Jesus Christ. Right? It's crazy. It's crazy, guys. I'm starting out with an A6000. Thoughts? Do it, man. What camera do you recommend that are better than iPhone cameras? Any full frame camera, any crops, any interchangeable lens camera is better than an iPhone camera, Kadar. Is it still worth to buy an old camcorder? If you want that old camcordery look. If you can buy an old camcorder for like $100, $150, to get that nostalgic look, do it. Thoughts on the 360 Go Ultra vid quality wise? It's an action camera. Yeah, it's an action camera. So nothing too crazy. 3 YouTube viewers. Hello, YouTube. Hello. Trying to give you guys attention as well. You guys are just so quiet over there. That's why. Thoughts on the Insta360? Is the V part more important than the speed, right? When you're... So here's the thing. So it gets super complex, and you guys can Google this for yourself. But if you go and Google, if you guys look at these SD cards, if you look at one of these cards, there are like SDXC, V90, 2, the 3 inside of the U, the 10 inside of the C. All of these are different ratings and classifications that all mean different things. And there's a lot of technical mumbo jumbo around it. Just to keep it simple, the higher this V number is, the better or the faster the card, generally speaking. Now, anybody in here that's a tech nerd or that's a fucking, actually, what you really need to look for, you'll get those guys every once in a while. Just generally speaking, for the layman like the rest of us, the better the camera, the higher this V number, the better the SD card. It's very simple. There's 3 of them: V30, V60, V90. If you don't ever buy V30s. Buy a V90 if you can afford it, but V60s is what I use. I have a V90 card. It's for 4K recording, 120 FPS. Yeah, exactly. There you go. SD card inflation. Yeah, SD cards are getting crazy right now. Yeah, the reason why I don't buy V90 cards is because the cameras that I use fast recording, like this is a R6 Mark III. It takes an SD card, but it also takes a CF Express Type B card. This right here, you guys don't want to know what the fuck this costs. If I can get this to fucking focus. Can I get this to focus? Focus. There it is. This is a 512 Angel Bird card. But this is a CF Express card. And my R6 Mark III shoots in 4K 60, 4K 120, and it needs those crazy ass speeds. CF Express cards are actually cheaper now that I look at them. I forgot that they were cheaper. How many pictures can be on a 1 gigabyte SD card from 2010s? I have no idea. Yeah, I've heard horror stories of SanDisk cards being corrupt, which is like, yeah, which is such a shame, man. Such a shame. That's why I never buy SanDisk. Only because I never, one, I've never had a single card go corrupt on me. But the anytime that I hear SD cards getting corrupt, they're from SanDisk. So there's that. It's not really proof or data points or anything like that, but it's enough to convince me never to buy one. Would you recommend an R6 Mark II for a hybrid cam under 2000 body only? I would, certainly. So CF Express is faster and better than V90s? Yes, they are. And they're cheaper too. R6 Mark III or an A7? I would choose the R6 Mark III over the A7 IV. Both are great though. I use Lexar now and Kingston backup. Yeah. One thing, and I don't know how true this is, guys, like I also never delete photos in camera. So anytime that I am clearing an SD card, I'm clearing it and formatting it in my PC or in an SD card reader, and I never format or erase pictures in my camera. I always just have big memory cards and then just, what's it called? Use, and never delete them in camera. The thinking of that is like, I guess I could draw a little picture. My thinking of it is like, if you have, let's see, this probably is not going to work out too well. But if you have, let's say, if you have an SD card, and you guys probably can't see this very well, but if you have an SD card and there's like storage in it, right? And there's like photos. They'll say there's like 8 photos here, and you're going through them. And then all of a sudden you see this one and you don't like this photo, but then you keep using it and keep writing to it. This photo gets deleted, and then it's possible there's a chance that this whole SD card can get corrupted because it's missing a file and it gets all out of whack. And that's kind of how I've understood it, that I've never actually deleted photos inside of a camera. I always just I keep the photo because they're free photos, right? And then if I need to delete them, I rarely delete my photos to begin with, but when I format my card, I never format it in the camera unless I need to, unless the camera says, hey, because when you get a new SD card, you usually need to format it before you use it. I'm interested in the Lexar armored car though. Yeah, those are expensive. Is it worth to upgrade from the R6 Mark III to R6, but only for photos? Probably not. Probably not. Not for just photos. I think a good upgrade is the R2 to R3, but if you really need those extra video features. Yeah, if you really need those extra video features. 5 viewers on YouTube. Hey, YouTube! How's it going? Sony FX30 versus the 6700. FX30. FX30. That's an easy one. Shakir says, I shoot a 2 people podcast from different angles. Can I use a professional camera and 2 iPhones? Yeah. Yeah, what I would do is probably use the professional camera, as the wide for both the people, and then use the cell phones as individual cameras for the people. Just to keep it matching. Yeah. That's a great question, Shakir. That's what I would do if you're using 2 iPhones. Is it better to buy an R8 or an R6 Mark II value wise? An R6 Mark II. What should I get next for my ZVE 10? I got a 50mm and a 60mm prime. Probably something long, like an 85. It depends really on what you're doing, Turpy. It's just kind of sounds like you just want to buy shit. Excuse me. I've been slipping between the R6 III and the R5 II. So far, I'm not noticing crazy differences. The R5 II is a better camera, for sure. If you can afford the R5 II, buy the R5 II. I do video and professional photo. Sick, bro. Which camera do you recommend for just starting into photography and have a tight budget? R50. Can I upgrade from the R6 to the Canon? Can you? I mean, is somebody stopping you? I'm certainly not stopping you. Frank Revs from YouTube. All right, the YouTube for people. Does micro scratches in the front element affect the image a lot? No, not really. Not really. Unless it's like a really crazy gash, but even then it's not really noticeable. I'm broke. Should I get an R6 or an R7 Mark II for hybrid? The R7 Mark II doesn't exist for hybrid sports camera. Probably the R6. But if you're broke, you probably shouldn't be buying cameras. Should I buy an R50 for beginners? You should. What lens on E mount would you like to see open up to the RF full frame mount? The 50 to 150 f2. Does R6 Mark I have hearing issues when recording like a Sony A7 IV? Hearing issues? I don't know what you mean. So R50 better than a 6400 Sony, stuck between those. If you don't have a lot of money, get the Sony. Get the 6400. Should I buy a Nikon Z9 and lens 24 to 28? You should. You should. Hung Nguyen from TikTok. YouTube. Not that easy. 67 has better autofocus, crop less, and has more photo flexibility. Seems the FX30 just doesn't overheat. But please, I will appreciate your opinion. Yeah, the FX30 is a better camera, for sure. The FX30. If you're doing video and you want to do video work and long form video work and all that, the FX30 is your camera. If you want to do more photo centric stuff, then pick the 6700. It really is that easy. You got anything you want to give away? No, I don't. College life. I heard rumors of the 50 to 150 making for RF, but 2.8 instead of the non-L series. That might be true. They might not even make it at all, but it's okay. I might buy the 50 to 150 one day for the E-mount. Not very high on my list. Does the R6 Mark I have heating issues when recording? All cameras have heating issues, except for ones that have integrated fans. Sony 6700 or Fujifilm XS30? I'd probably choose the 6700. What about the 35 to 150? That's a Tamron lens. That's a nice lens too. I did see that they made a 35 to 100 f2.8. That one looked really cool. They made a newer one. Yeah, that lens is pretty great. What can you say about the Young Now? Nothing. I've never used that lens. Young Now is just a cheap Chinese brand. It works. Any recommendations on affordable lights for videos? Zhiyun. These are the lights that I use for my YouTube setup and what you guys see in. How do I spell that? Zhiyun lights. These are the lights that I recommend. The Molis X100. This one I have over here. I also own this one. Look, purchased. Zhiyun lights are the best in my opinion. What I have in here in this setup is this one. I have this one here. Not the Cine Pier. I have like which one? I forget. But Zhiyun is the brand that this one. The X60, that's this light right here, and then I have another X60 on the other side. Yeah, these are the brands of lights. This one, I have this one over there, way in the back. Besides portrait photography, I also shoot sports. So should I buy the Nikon Z600? Yeah. Yeah, man. If you have the money to buy all that stuff, you should buy it. Have you tried the Canon 800? I have not. I don't have an interest to, like, I don't do that kind of photography, like 800 millimeter, 600 millimeter. What's up, bro? Not much, man. Everything's good. Hi. I have a Canon G7X Mark III. I'm thinking about getting a gimbal type thing for it. What do you think? If you need it. I've never seen anybody put a point and shoot on a gimbal, though. Do you think the small rig cage for the R50V is essential? I think it's essential. For me, it is. Do you mind explaining it a little bit if you don't have a lot of money? 64 is better than the R50. Yeah, if you don't have a lot of money, the Sonys are a better option. Even though Sony cameras are more expensive, the Sony E-mount is open to third-party lenses, unlike Canon. So you have a lot more lens options that are more affordable for the E-mount. The RF mount is the complete opposite. They have a closed mount system, only open to Sigma as a third-party manufacturer, and all their lenses are significantly more money than what's available on the E-mount. I recently got a Sony ZV-E10. What's a good lens for that specific camera? I really like these. I think I was showing these earlier, guys. These lenses right here. Let me pop them up. These lenses are great, dude. These Sure lenses, I own all 5 of these. They are really, really nice. Is the 70 to 300 Tamron E-mount crazy to buy? I'm low-key broke and need a cheap lens. It's a cheap lens, Roddy. It's a cheap lens. Is the Sony A1 good for video? I've never heard anything about the A1 for video. What's the best camera for beginners? R50. Yeah, Ren Sport. So I like the extra grip on the camera. The camera's pretty small to begin with. So I'm not that big of a guy, but I needed that extra grip to hold it more comfortably. Have I tried the Amaran Pano lights? No, I haven't, but those are really great too. Typically though, when I'm looking at lights, I want a massive light source. So like I want a big modifier to give me the softest light possible. Those Pano lights are like very small. And they do make a really big round one. I would like that one from Amaran. That one looks really cool. It's like a super big circular one, but again, it's the size of the of the light source that gives you like a super soft light, you know? I need for sports. Thanks for that, boss. I'll be doing. Oh, it's my phone. What is my phone going on right now? I bought some ads for my my full-time job, and the notifications are going wild on it. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. That's what ads are for. I gotta go into work tomorrow. I'm gonna be filming in. I'm gonna be filming in City Hall, and tomorrow, guys, I'm gonna be filming with this bad boy, the C50. I probably won't use this lens, but this is a monster lens. Maybe I'll use it. No, I'd rather use the 15 to 35. But check it out. Yeah, she nice, man. That's what I was thinking. It's kind of small. Your camera is so crispy. My goodness. Appreciate it, man. The Donald Hart Show. The RS5 would be a great buy, I would say. The RS5 is nice. I'm probably going to wait one more generation. I have the RS4 Pro, and I'm pretty happy with it. There is an update that I wish that it had, but I'll probably wait one more generation. I really want to get a prime lens to do more videography on a Sony. What do you recommend? Depends on what you're shooting, man. The 24 is nice. The 35 is really nice for video. Marcus Bryan. So it just depends on what you're trying to film, man. If you want some versatility, you know, it's not a prime, but it's a 15 to 35 or a 16 to 35. I use that lens a lot for my video work. I'm going to be using it tomorrow. And the reason why I'm choosing my 15 to 35 for tomorrow on my C50 is because I'm going to be going into a courthouse, City Hall courthouse here in my town, in my city. And I don't know what kind of, I know that there's big halls and stuff, but I don't know what kind of environment we're going to be in. So I want to have the 15 millimeter accessible to me so that I can like use a wide angle. Streaming camera details. This camera on, what are you on TikTok? This is a Canon R10 with a 23 millimeter Sigma. That makes sense. Thanks, man. Yeah, but a 24 to 70 is great. 15 to 35. Again, those aren't primes, but if you are looking for primes on a full frame camera, my favorite is 35. 35 and 24. Those are really nice. They're a lot more usable to me and more versatile than something like a small telephoto, like an 85. They're a lot more usable to me. Who is that person? That person's getting blocked. Block. Hi, what camera should I get? Fujifilm, but can take everywhere and it's compact. The XM5 from Fujifilm. Fujifilm or Canon for a second camera. I'm currently on Sony. You should get another Sony. It doesn't have flash. You don't need flash. How about the XS10? Built-in flashes are garbage. They're never really good. They're good as like fill lights, I guess. How about the XS10? I don't know the XS10. For social media, clothing, reel, shoot, iPhone or camera? It depends on your brand and your audience. What camera you use right now? On TikTok, this is a Canon R10. Comment from YouTube for social media, clothing, reel, shoot, iPhone. Yeah, it depends on your brand and your audience, really. Comment from YouTube. Hey, would a Sigma 18 to 50 be suitable for real estate videos? On a crop sensor, probably not, Daniel McGee. You probably want the 10 to 18. The 18 to 50 on a crop sensor is rather tight. And real estate, you really want to be super wide. Would you be down? I am not down to rate your work. Can you circle back to why built-in? It's not powerful. If you actually want flash, get a speed light or like a tiny speed light that goes on top of your camera. What do you think of the R50V? Love the R50V. I'm going with an R5C. Nice. I use Canon M50. I want to update. Need advice. Get the R50. Six viewers on YouTube. Woohoo. What mic is good to use for mommy ASMR? I have no idea what that is, dude. No idea. So shouldn't base my decision on getting camera based on flash? No. No, not at all. I would never base my decision on getting a camera based on flash. But when R50V versus ZVE10, who is best? The ZVE10 II versus the R50V. The ZVE10 II is a better camera. It's $1,000. The R50V is a really great camera, and it's $600. I have an 80D and was wondering if I should go full frame or Sony 64. What do you think? If you can afford to go full frame, man. I'm not going to be the kind of creator, the kind of influencer that is going to try to tell you to save your money. If you have the money, spend it. I'll never tell you to like spend your rent money or go into debt. But if you have the funds, buy the best that you can afford. Is the Sony 6700 a good starter camera? It is. I need to fix this. This is just driving me nuts. Show viewer join. Show users platform. Show the use alternating message backgrounds. Let's get rid of that. App primary theme. Does this help? No, it doesn't. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. No problem, bro. Is the FX3A worth it? Not with the possibility of the Mark II coming out this year, or just go with the R5C? The new FX3 Mark II is coming out soon, I think. R10, R50, or R8? Depends on what you're doing, Nicole. If you were to choose and asked to choose between the ZVE10 II, not the ZVE10. I would choose out of those three, I would choose the R50V. Yeah. I have the R50V right here. I also have the, so this is the R50V right here. Monster camera, $600. And then I also have the ZVE10 II right here. So owning both of them, this is a great camera, but it's $1,000. So that's why I kind of don't recommend it unless the person's really stuck on Sony. R50V is the best? No, R50V is not the best. What lens is that? On the R50V, I have the 17-40 Sigma lens, and then on the Sony, I have the 23. Just starting out. Yeah, Nicole, but what are you doing, Nicole? Like, what do you want to shoot? If you want to do video and photo, I would do the R8. If you want to just do photos and you're happy with just photos, the R10. The R50, I wouldn't even consider those in the same bracket. I would choose the R8. ZVE 10-2 or the 6700 for sure. And what are your comments on the Nikon Z6 III? Thumbs up, Nikon Z6 III. That's what I was thinking too. Thank you. Yeah, I own all three of those cameras, the R50, the R10. Actually, I'm using the R10 right now on TikTok. And the R8 is great. Yeah, the R8 is really nice. I have it over here somewhere. I was using the 45mm f1.2 on it. I went live with it the other day. It's nice. Yeah, it's definitely a nice camera. Definitely nice. What am I sitting at here? 5 viewers on YouTube. Good shit, boys. Good shit. All right. For those of you guys that are hanging out on TikTok, thank you so much. YouTube as well. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your night with me. I'm going to be logging off for tonight. If you haven't followed or subscribed yet, now is your opportunity to do so. For the month of March, I'm going to be going live as often as I can. So make sure to follow and subscribe if you're not already. And I'm going to catch you in the next one, y'all. Adios.